Okay, so I'm gonna show you a project for a remix I made. Well, it's not a remix, it's actually a bootleg, but I don't like the name of bootleg because it sounds cheap. So yeah, it's the Kent Ingenting remix I made. And I'm gonna mute the song, so I'm gonna go through what I did when I made my part of the song. So yeah, the intro is just a kick. The intro is just a kick. So we can go to the Uplifter part because I guess that's my main part. So it sneaks up. Alright, so the Uplifter part, what's happening here? So I have, first of all, white noise that is going down. Then it goes up again. I think it's this one here. So it's basically low pass filter going down with a little bit of resonance, and it goes up. And then of course I have a reverb on it and a flanger effect here, just to make it a little more unique. Oh yeah, this is also the one that it gets sidechained in the drop here with the kick, I think. So I'm very picky with sidechaining everything because I want as much room as possible when I'm mixing the drop. Yeah, so that's the uplifter part. Then I have snares. So basically I have this reverb plugin, which its delay gets longer and longer and the mix gets 100%. And then there is of course a big snare here right before the drop, which is also sidechained a lot. Like before, I actually have a manual sidechain here, and then one probably for... No, I have a high pass and it just sidechains so it makes room for the top kick. Anyways, and then of course I have an uplifter sound. And that's a synthesizer. It's just a pad or something I have that pitches up. Yeah. Let's see what it is. So yeah. So all it does is basically it just pitches up I think it goes 2 octaves. And in the second drop it actually goes on even more. This one is actually heavily sidechained to the kick as well later on. So we have this part. That's a compressor. No, it's not. It's sidechaining one. So yeah, that's how you make like and then of course you have like little sweeps. That's the drop noise. Oh yeah, right before the drop I have a little clash thing like this. So it likes, I'm gonna show you. So it's... I layered the big snare here, this with little tom thing, so it like gets a little more low end. So yeah, you can hear. Damn, how many things do I have here? All right, so let's go to the synthesizers. Oh yeah, by the way, all the synths get high passed here. I'm gonna show you. So you can see right before it just sucks in everything, and then when the drop comes, everything goes back to normal. And I even do that with the bassline, I think. Yeah, I think I do. No, that's another. Which one? Damn it, goddamn, there are so many here. Oh no, wait, I have it on the low end thing here. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. On the low end. Because the kick and the bass has their own little sub mix. So yeah, the bass just high passes here like this. So yeah. Yeah, let's go over to the drop. What synths do I have? Well, it's 3 layers. The first thing I have is like this part here, the top melody, you can say. It was a long time ago I had this project. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. Why is it called bass? Because I have everything on the one pattern here in FL Studio. So I bounced it out. So it's this sample here, but it's this thing here. It's just a flex preset, some strings here. So it's basically this melody here. So this is the whole melody basically. Notice that I am the kick hits here in between. So one trick I noticed that works well when you try to create like danciness is that you make sure that I'm gonna show you. This lower melody, if we add the kick to it, it's like like a melodic side chaining. It's not side chaining because the sound leaks in between here, but it creates this groove if you time the melody to in between. And then we have the filler sound. It's a saw synth. I think it's Massive I've used for this one. This is also bound. I actually bounced the stem here to save CPU. Because I made the song on another computer, so I'm opening it up on another one. But yeah, so this is the synth. I think it's a preset I tweaked or something. I mean, it's just nothing special, but I use this to fill out the frequency spectrum in the song here. It takes a lot of space. So together they make this main epic lead sound. And for the bass line, I just have this plugin called Bass. Native Instruments. I try to avoid using these plugins nowadays because, you know, they are online synchronized nowadays. Like they want you to have a subscription service. Like Native Instrument and Ozone is basically the Adobe of the music world, or Waves as well, I guess. Like those 3 companies, like I try to avoid them nowadays, but it's hard. But anyways, this is the bassline. This is also a preset I just tweaked. Man, there's a lot of presets here I'm just tweaking. The bass, EQ, some saturations. I really like this compressor, it's so simple to work with. EQ. Oh yeah, I'm sidechaining. I usually sidechain a little bit in the lower end to make extra room here, because you don't want to sidechain with just a volume. If you sidechain with volume only, I actually use an LFO to sidechain. I also combine these two. I always try to mix up two sidechaining techniques. One is volume, and one is like with the dynamic EQ, because you can remove more of the low end with the dynamic EQ. Because if you only sidechain very heavily with the volume, you lose the top end. The kick doesn't hit. I'm gonna show you. I actually add a oscilloscope here to show you. The kick here has only lower frequencies, but the bass, so you don't want it to disappear completely here. You could do volume sidechaining if you have a shorter kick completely, but I have like kind of a long kick here. Not long kick, but it's like half length here of a bar. 240 milliseconds. So yeah, here you can see how the bassline is sidechained, and you see the lower frequencies are still present there. That's the kick, and together they become this, or the sum is this. So yeah, then you have the top synth that I like to add. It's like a cell phone sound, I don't know. I think also that's oh yeah, it's also a flex library thing. I like to add extra melodies when I make a remix, because sometimes the original song maybe is not working out as an instrumental. Because when you have vocals, the vocals itself is a melody, so when they add stuff into the song, but now I don't have the vocals in the drop, so I had to come up with my own thing, add it, and that's where I added this melody here. And I add some magic to it. Now, what's interesting with this one is, if we look at this synth here, I actually routed it to sidechain. I use a dynamic EQ here. There is two here. One for the kick here on the Epic synth. So you can see that it doesn't do as much when you're listening to the mix, but when you're mastering the stuff, you can hear like there is some clarity. And it's the same thing with this. Notice that if I turn on this sound now, if you listen to this sound, the sound here, in this area in the frequency meter here, around 1000 hertz, 1300, 1300 to like 800, 900 hertz, yeah, 1000 hertz. I dodge every time the sound kicks in, and it makes it clearer. If I bypass this, I don't know if you can hear. I'll turn it on. It becomes a little more clearer when you mix it that way. So yeah, that's what I like to do. Like these small equalizing, dynamic equalizing, to make the mix a little bit clearer between different instruments. You have to do this. Another thing you can look at is this EQ here on the Epic synth. That's the thing. This synth here takes a lot of space in the frequency. Like if you don't process it, it's gonna make the song very muddy. I don't know if I managed to mix it, but I think it's good enough. I think it worked. I think it's decent what I did on the song. So I can see that I have some static EQ, but you want to avoid doing this. This is not something you want to do. You don't want to have stuff like this. It's better to have like, okay, you do some static equalizing here, like 3 to 5 decibels, and then when the the song, the other instrument hits, you have a dynamic one. It sounds more natural. It doesn't sound as static. It doesn't sound like synthetic, that you cutting out frequency in the band, or this frequency spectrum, that there is a gap there, because you can hear when people are over equalizing and stuff. I prefer to have, it's better to have, like, I'm not saying you should have mud in your mix, but it's better to have like more natural sound that is a little more rumblier. But I don't like to say rumblier, but like it should sound more natural. It shouldn't be like so overproduced. Like this is, this is the maximum I would want to use. If you mix with record instruments, that's another story, but we're talking about synthesizers here. You don't want to, it's already as synthetic as it is when you mix with software generated sounds, like computer generated ones. So yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind. So yeah, together the instruments will sound like this. So you have the bass, you have the top synth, the violin thing, and the epic synth, and the kick. But there's something missing, percussions. We add cymbals to it that hits on the kick, and then you have hi-hats between the cymbals and the kick. I'm gonna show you. And between. So that's how you create the grooviness of the song. And then of course the bass line. The hi-hats are actually a little bit sidechanged because they might leak it in the song. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's a little bit there. Because it actually hits on. The pattern looks like this. I'm gonna show you. I know it's a meme with like hip hop artists. They always have like did. Oh yeah, this is the grooviness. So you have one on the left side and one on the right. So they are varying. That's why you can create this. Because I don't know, it feels like there is more movement in the song if you have like it like this. You pan it a little bit to the right, the other one to the left. And then I stack two cymbals, left and right. Oh, there we go. It was muted. So yeah, and together, you know, they make the full thing. So yeah, so now we add these together, the synth, bass line, the kick, cymbal, and the hi-hats. Oh, I forgot. Did I set it? Yeah. Alright, then we have, of course, the white noise effects here. I often have one that is complete white noise. It's a sample I made. You can see that it is a kind of, I wouldn't say it's even, because you equalize depending on how much the epic synth is taking place. But white noise is often not that characteristical of itself. It just fills, so you have to compensate with some kind of an effect. This is an effect I made myself. Well, I made the white noise myself. There's one thing you should think about when you're making white noise. It's this sample here I made myself. Because don't use generators from plugins, because they are not balanced, they might have a resonance in them. So I use different generators, then I add them together to create like one more even white noise. And this is a sample which I just put a lot of reverb on it, like long delay, 100% mix, just export it, and yeah, together they become this. Then I have a big snare thing here. I'm gonna show you. It's this one. So yeah, I have. So that yeah. The reason we want the snare with a little reverb on it, you don't want the song to suddenly stop. But I do have like a high pass filter as soon as the drop hits. Oh wait. So it allows the low end to hit, and then when the kick hits, you can see it as like the bass takes the frequency. That's why you don't notice that this disappears. So yeah, so if we go break it down again, yeah, the synths, the bassline, the kick, the cymbals and the hi-hat, and the white noise. That's the drop. And yeah, of course, the snare. And on the second part here, you're gonna have an uplifter. And a clap sound. You're clapping your hands to it. It just makes it so like something gets added on to the song as the song progresses through the timeline, or what you want to say. Some sweeps here and there. So it creates tension. One thing to note on the uplifter part, it goes up and down. Sometimes it restarts because you know it can go up forever. There is something called shepherd tones if you want to do that, but it doesn't have this effective. This is the pitch curve for the uplifter. So here in the second drop, you can see like it goes down like this. Because you want the second drop to have a little more elements than the first one. The first drop is always more emptier, but you won't notice that because you haven't heard the drop, so you kind of accept like, oh yeah, this is good. And then the second drop, everything comes to it. Like, so the second drop has the uplifted part directly here, compared to the first one that doesn't have it at all. It actually disappears. The uplifter is not present at all there after the uplifter part. Or the rising. Uplifter is the element I'm talking about. It's not there, but you have an uplifter part. I don't know what it's called in music terms. Bridge, I think it's called, and this is the chorus, right? So yeah, I'm not like. Man, I can barely read notes, so you just know how he's supposed to sound. So yeah, what else do we have here? Oh yeah. On the uplifter part, right before, you can hear a little boom effect, like this. It's basically a sub that pitches down. I don't know if it's a full octave or what it is, but yeah, I use that as a little, you know. I'm gonna see how I use it as an indicator that, yeah, something is about to happen now. Yeah, I also have on the uplifter part before the drop or the chorus, I have what it's called, snares that goes faster and faster and that pitches up. It's 2 snares, I think, and a tom that are layered, so there are 3 things. So you have like the tom part here. And it pitches up 2 octaves. And the processing is very simple. You have a compressor to make sure it doesn't, because the faster it goes, the more they add up, they interfere with each other. I don't want to try to fix that, so I just use a compressor. It doesn't have to be professionally or that. You don't have to be picky, and then you have a reverb, longer delay, the mix increases, and also the volume goes down because, yeah, that's the thing, the compressor doesn't, it can like just, you can add a limiter, but I just use a compressor to squash it a little bit, and then I just adjust the volume so it doesn't get louder and louder. It goes a little bit down here, and then a high pass filter. And the boom thing and the snares. So yeah, that's how you can create a big drop on the sound. You know what? Remove this instruments and just have the bass line. Oh yeah, the clapping sounds are still there. But the volume goes down. I think automated, so it goes down. Oh, you actually exported the big snare part. Where is it? Track 3, I haven't automated it. Oh, well. Okay, I missed that. Well, if you can't hear it, nobody cares, right? Anyways. By the way, this might not be the final version I exported. Because there's sometimes I tweak stuff. This version I actually archived it so I could make a breakdown, and that's what I'm doing now. Because I often have this clap thing I made myself in tracks. Oh, it's the same thing I have in the drop. Okay, anyways. Oh yeah, you can hear it. What else can I show you? This is the original song's bassline melody. I don't know what else. You hear the sweeps and the sweeps. If you listen to the final song, you can hear that the original song here that I have here carries the the part here because he's singing and stuff. I mean, the singing itself carries this part. And here I think there is like this piano thing. I think it's a detuned piano they're using, or broken piano. Oh yeah. I have a little whoop whoop thing going on there. Like this. I think it's just toms that are reversed. So it's like whoop whoop whoop. So like, you know, variation in the effects, because you know you can't always use sweeps and stuff all the time. It gets all very fast, I think. Because you know you have all these things here that you can get away with them a lot, but you know sometimes you have to vary the effects a little bit. One thing, yeah, a trick here is like you use, instead of just volumes, you have a low pass filter. So you can hear. Oh yeah, one tip here is to, when you have a low pass filter and it's sneaking up, have it before the reverb and the delays, because then you get the low delays in the song. Because if you do like this. Because the reverb is drowned in the, you cut off the reverb as well. Here is like, oh, the sound is sneaking up, but it's in a room, so it sounds like it's something that is low pass and then it's in a room, rather than it's like a low pass filter in your ears. Do you get the difference? I know that was a bad explanation, but yeah, when you do effects with like high pass and low pass filter, this is my rule. High pass filters are after reverbs and delays, because you're often using that to sweep away stuff. You want it to be nothing below it. When it comes to low pass filter, it's often an effect, like you want to, it should sound like you're underwater or something like that. So you want to have it before delays and reverbs. Yeah, that's just a taste thing maybe, but yeah, that's how I do it. So yeah, it's a low pass filter, then it's before delays and all the other stuff. I don't know if there is something more I can show. Oh yeah, the kick. The kick is kick 2. It's something I made myself, because I have like a whole library of kicks that I made that I use for all my tracks. Where can I find that? Man, this project is a mess. Alright, let's go here, press there, then it should show up. Yeah, there we go, kick 2. Yeah, the song is F sharp, I guess. It's not much I can. Oh yeah, what I want to show is when you make songs, you have like a cutoff thing, so you make the kick shorter. I'm gonna show you how I do it, because when you have an intro and an outro, when you're DJing, you know you beat match with the kick, so I make it very easy for myself by having a beat like this. So in the song I make it a little bit shorter, because you don't want it to be overwhelmed. You don't want to have more kick or bass than the drop. The drop should be the heavy part. But anyways, if you go on here, here it goes full force, so it means that look how short it is. And then if I deactivate the sidechaining, so this is the full kick that is in the song, and then I sidechaining. It's a reverse sidechaining, or LFO. You adjust the volume, you can see here that it cuts off the volume. So yeah, it just cuts off the volume. So it just goes down very fast, and then it turns off when it drop plays. I think that was basically everything. Intro effect. Oh, it's something here in the beginning, maybe. Oh yeah, I don't know what it is. Something here in the middle, maybe. Well, yeah, that's basically the remix I made. Again, if you want to hear the song, I can't play because of copyright issues. But yeah, I showed my part of the song and what I did with the remix. So yeah, I hope this video was informative, or like you learn how I structure my stuff, even if it's the most unstructured project ever. Well, thank you for watching, at least.